Welcome to episode 18 of Yoking Around.
Yes.
I am not your host, Chandler, but I will be introducing
you're a
fellow
host.
folks.
No, you're a host.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I need a break.
I've been passed the torch.
Yeah, you've been
episode
literally
18.
you've
Episode 18.
Episode 18.
We got Deegan to my left.
Yeah, Deegan.
And
The infamous Deegan.
Yes.
He wasn't here last time.
he's on camera.
Yeah, he's on camera. Look at that beautiful face.
Derek
over
to
there.
my right.
Hello, guys. As you guys can see, I look like a fucking curly fry. If you guys can see my hair. I guess this past weekend, we decided to go crazy on our hair.
Yeah.
Chan went a little lighter, as you guys can see.
Yeah.
And I just did some copper-like streaks. I look like a peeled cable. That's like, and we're trying to convince Deegan to color his hair one way or another.
I don't think that's a possibility.
We're gonna do it. He's gonna fucking man up.
If this video gets 100 likes, Deegan will color his hair.
Yeah, why not
Oh,
do it that
boy.
way? Which is really hard. It's really fucking hard, Deegan. So your hair is pretty. But who knows? People might just fuck with you and say, "No, I want to see."
Fuck with me. I'll take other suggestions then.
Okay, we'll cut your left nut if you. You only need one to survive. And then we have Irving as our technician today. Yeah.
Yeah.
He took your job, dude. He just swiped it right on under you. Dude, you didn't.
He's
even
also
know.
Deegan's barber.
Oh yeah. Deegan got a fresh cut from Irving.
Yeah, thanks. Shout out to Irving. Yeah, I needed it desperately, but I'm a little low on the income, so yeah.
You just had to give in.
I had to give
That
into the free
stimulus
haircut.
check hasn't hit yet.
Honestly, it's not that bad. I actually think he did it pretty good for what we had at hand.
Yeah, I've seen people fade, and I don't know shit about cutting hair, but I've seen people shade with one guard. Like they just, my guy,
Yeah.
It's not the best fade, but they fucking do it. Like they can do it.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
When are you gonna buzz your head?
Buzz my head.
Yeah, would you buzz your head?
The
How much money would it take for you to just fucking go bald? Like
Bald?
a
Like
nutsack.
Like Irving bald or?
Yeah, Irvin. But see, Irvin looks good with it. I don't know. I've never seen you bald, so I guess I hadn't seen Irvin bald. But
It will take quite a bit, honestly. I'm not easily convinced with some little bribe on
we
the
need
side.
drastic change for Deegan.
I think he should grow it out and do some dreads.
At this point, I'm like, I don't even know what to do because I haven't gone to cut my hair. They just recently reopened everything, so I didn't want to be the dick that went the first day that they opened to the barbers or to the hair salons or whatever.
Join on the fanboy wagon. Join the line.
Well, people are just so desperate that they go and then they fucking overflow the barbers in the cosmetic salons. And I don't want to be that person. I want to. It's like the same thing as toilet paper, you know. Today I went to the market. I went to the store and plenty of toilet paper. So.
Yeah, I mean, stores are out. Everything pretty much is basically back to normal. You know, supplies are starting to balance out.
Supply wise, yeah.
So I mean, it's just some businesses are barely starting to kick back into business. So I mean, they're a little slow at the start, but they'll come back into regular momentum.
We shall see. Speaking of businesses, today we're going to talk about some pyramid schemes.
Yes, the good old pyramid schemes. We've all had at least one crazy uncle, one family member that has tried to get us into a pyramid scheme. No, this is going to work out for you. It's not a pyramid scheme. It's a multi-level marketing system, bro.
MLM, yeah.
MLM. Did I even say that? Multi-level
marketing.
Yep. Marketing, yeah. I said it right.
Perfecto.
Yeah, because there's differences. Do you know what the difference between a pyramid scheme and then MLM is?
No, enlighten me.
All right, so the MLM, the multi-level marketing, the difference is it's legal in the U.S. And the reason why it's legal is because it's not solely based on just making profit. There is a product behind it that you have to endorse or you have to sell.
Okay.
Plus, there's incentives. There's like an incentive level for you to get the goods, quote unquote. I'm making quotation marks for those guys listening. Into whatever it is that you're trying to gain.
Mm-hmm.
But pyramid schemes are actually illegal in the U.S. So if anybody is caught doing a pyramid scheme, they can go. It's a federal crime. And the reason why that is because there is no actual goods that are being sold. It's just literally financial monetary items that are being changed left and right. Basically, and how it starts is just you have the main boss, right? And then it starts you start recruiting people that get that. There's a what's like a fee to get into the getting the money and the pyramid. Be a
distributor.
Exactly. Yeah. And then it starts diluting into the bottom of the pyramid. The reason why these infamous pyramid schemes don't work is because at a certain point you stop gaining the interest of people, because the people on the bottom aren't getting shit. The people in the top are getting something.
Because you're solely getting money based on the people you recruit.
Correct, yes. So if you get one, like if I'm the boss, I recruit you, you give me a percentage. And then that percentage, if you recruit 2 other people, they give you a percentage. But that percentage starts obviously thinning out. And eventually once you get to the bottom of the pyramid scheme, there's not enough cash.
Yeah, once you get to laborers, it's pretty much thin to nothing. It's pretty much just sweatshops, what you consider it at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it that. Just like not a, I wouldn't say a sweatshop, more like
I'm being a little extreme there, but that's kind of, I'm just trying to make a point here.
Yeah, make good points, goddammit. No, I'm just fucking with you. No, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just like the bottom, the pawn scum, basically, for lack of a better word. But have you ever been in a pyramid scheme? Or have you ever been offered? I don't know if maybe been in one because they're illegal, but have you ever been?
Not that I know of. It's a newer concept I learned about. And I was quickly looking on my phone a little bit before this. And there's some companies that people claim to be pyramid schemes. The biggest one was Amway that I found.
Amway, yes, I'm familiar with it, with their products. But see, the thing is, it is a pyramid scheme, but it's disguised as a MLM.
Yes, and they make a ton of money. They said the owner is one of the NBA owners of a team. So he's making a lot of money. And then the next one was Herbalife.
I put him in on blast.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Which is diet
It's
nutrition.
just what we found. Yeah, it's the information we found on the internet.
And then the other one, which I was kind of surprised, was Mary Kay, because I've definitely heard about women selling makeup through that.
Yes. And you know what? I was wondering, because I was doing my research, and I was like, I wonder if Mary Kay, like, because I know that's been Avon, Mary Kay have been around for forever, right. You know. And I was wondering if they were sort of a pyramid, MLM, you know, type of style.
Yeah, I don't know. They get accused of it. I don't know exactly the details. I know Mary Kay, they sell makeup, and they get a certain percentage of all the sales they make, and they throw these big parties, which they sell stuff. And a lot of times, you know, they're inviting people they know, and then people are like, oh, you know, I should help Doug out, I should help Mary out, I should help Jane out, because they're trying to sell this, and it's kind of pressure to be a good friend. But at the same time, the person that's selling it knows that they've invested a certain amount of money. If they don't make a certain amount of sales, that they're basically fronting the cost and losing it.
Yeah.
It's from my understanding. I've never done it personally.
How about you, Deegan? Have you... Whoa. What happened?
¿Qué pasa?
My microphone... Can you hear? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Whoa, that was weird.
It just went out for a second.
Yeah. Are we recording?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, let's continue. My bad. I thought we died. How about you, Deegan? Have you ever had someone offer you a pyramid scheme?
Not really. I mean, me just trying to be, honestly, just being a dick. I like to say that I'm working in one. I mean, it feels like it, you know.
What do you mean? Expand on that thought. Yeah, you can just say, I'm fucking working on a pyramid scheme. Just say, don't pay attention to me. Don't mind me. Like you gotta.
I mean, it ain't as technical as your guys' story, but I mean, like I'm at the bottom of the food chain at Coke, the Coke life.
Well, wouldn't you say that's a little different though? Because
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I kind of feel like I would like to say I was part of it, but I'm not.
Yeah, because I mean that's just business structure in general.
They're not telling you, oh, you have to sell a certain amount of Coke products, or else we're not going to pay you.
No, it's not commission-based work. That's hourly pay, either that or salary. It's pretty structured. So I mean,
but I think Deegan's making a claim. He's unhappy.
He's not happy where he's at. If you guys are hiring,
no.
If you guys are hiring, if you guys are watching this and you guys need a handsome Mexican, maybe to do a porno or lay down some concrete, just hit him up. He'll do anything.
Maybe both. It could be all in one shot right there.
Do a porno while laying down. I haven't seen a porno like that. Like I've seen like pseudo semi construction pornos, but I haven't seen like an
actual laborist.
Like I'm making a house. Now suck my dick kind of thing. Like I have never seen that.
Let me beat down this nail very quick.
No, an interesting fact, coming back to the pyramid schemes, an interesting fact that I found on the internet was that Hispanic families are actually hit more than any other ethnicity, yeah, because they tend to be very unified whenever it comes to family members. And essentially, since you're trying to make some coin out of this, you end up recruiting, sadly, you end up trying to recruit your family members. So obviously being in a close family member environment, you end up having to
rely on your own family,
on your
members.
Grandma Juanita, and on your fucking tío and uncle or whatever, and you start recruiting them, and sadly it's not the way to go, because it could break down. Like there's been cases where it breaks down family
relationships.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I would say financial stress is definitely a burden on people, and that tears marriages up, that tears friendships up.
But at the same time, if business goes well for both ends of the stick, it could be very profitable.
But in the end, someone always gets screwed in the pyramid scheme, because eventually they can't recruit any more people, or they can't sell the product, and then they're just out of the money.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. Like, basically what starts happening is it becomes really, really hard to start recruiting new people, because people catch on to it. And like I said, the MLM, the multi-level marketing, I always get that confused. Like, I want to flip it. Like, in my head is the other way, you know, because I think in Spanish sometimes.
No worries.
Multi-level marketing, going back to the meetings, like they make these great meetings where they make a convention, and they basically tell you, oh, we'll teach you how to sell the product, and we'll teach you how to be a better businessman and entrepreneur. And they get all these people, and those are the things that start making the MLM money.
Yeah, in that video you sent me, they call them extravaganzas. And it's just to promote, if you come to this training, you'll make more sales, and you can find more distributors and get higher commission.
Yeah, the easiest way to spot one is in an MLM is the first thing that they're gonna have you do is, if you're gonna they're gonna have you invest your own money on the business. So let's say you're buying Avon, you're gonna have to buy this much product, and then you have to resell it. Mm-hmm. So, but that's your money going in. So that's I guess the fine line or the loophole more than anything that makes an MLM legal and not illegal when it comes to selling products, because it's basically a business, right? You're selling something. You're not necessarily just getting money from someone and scamming them in a way. So that's the loophole that they do. In Canada, in 2008, they had a huge lawsuit to this company. I can't remember the name of the company, but it was one of the biggest MLM or pyramid scheme things that happen. A lot of people got ripped off their money, and they ended up putting lawsuits on this big company, and fortunately they got some of their cash back. So it's very interesting when it comes to this type of business, because people are always trying to get something, especially during right now with the times. You know, I feel like a lot of schemers are out there trying to get your information. I know that there was a lot of people trying to, like, they get messages like, this is your incentive check, you know, or trying to get information. And I see it all the time because I work at a bank. You know, you see all this type of things, all sorts of schemes. You have you just inherited this much money. Put this money on your bank account, and then this fake check, right? You put this fake check on your bank account and basically get screwed over, because you have to send that information, your bank information, to the other person, and they get your information, obviously, and they
basically just get your credit card routing number,
they get all your shit.
Your check gets bounced, essentially.
Yeah, that check is bound to bounce. And another one that there is basically they send you a check, let's say like an $8,000 check, right? They send you an $8,000 check. They tell you, hey, this is for this nonprofit organization or whatever type of business. And what they tell you is, deposit this on your bank account, like an $8,000 check. And then you got to send me certain percentage of that check. Like, send me $5,000 and you keep the rest. You know, the same thing. They just want your account information. So if you guys usually get this on emails now. So if you guys get anything like that, don't follow it, because it's pretty much a scam.
I mean, if anything, if you get a paper check itself, try to cash it out, and if they can't cash it out, you know it's a fake.
It's so easy. Like, working at a bank, I've seen all sorts of fake checks, bro. Like, some of the checks are very photoshopped, you know. They're very like, they're skewed ink. Like the there's a meeker line. That's what they call it in the bottom of the check. It's supposed to have a matte, rich kind of finish to it. And like, we get a lot of checks that are basically like you could tell is not the right ink, because it's very glossy. Exactly. That's the right word. Yes. They're super glossy, and you can tell it right away. And sometimes we tell people, we can't cash this check for you. We can't deposit. This is for your own benefit. If this check bounces, you will go negative and you will get fucked. Like, your account will be negative $8,000. No, man, just fucking do it. You know, I trust this, you know, and we're like, I can't do it. I'm sorry. You could go cash it.
Now, are you guys obligated to report such instances, or like at least like take record of how much stuff is going on? Like,
you know, you have to be. It's a very interesting line, because you have to be professional, obviously, right? But it is very awkward when it comes to that, because you really, basically what you need to do, and this is if the person is okay with it, you need to take that check away from them, because you don't want them to go cash it somewhere else and try to screw some other financial institution. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, if they take the check, you know, it's just out of our hands. You know, we can't really say, I'm gonna call the cops on you or anything like that, because we don't know. They might be innocent. You know, they might just be trying to cash a check. Little to maybe sometimes there might be a few instances where they really know that the check is it's fraudulent, and they're still trying to get a cut out of it, you know. But it's very ambiguous, because you don't know what the person is actually doing. Maybe they manufacture the check themselves, and they're saying that they got sent this check just to wash their hands, you know, of the crime.
Interesting.
Yeah, we get all sorts of checks, and especially right now during the season where we're getting incentives, from good old Mr. Cheeto Puff Trump.
Uncle Trump.
Uncle Trump, yeah, Uncle Trump. It's you see all sorts of scammers everywhere, trying to get a cut of your money.
Yeah, I think they know that people either have money right now from the stimulus check, or they know they may have been laid off, or they're looking to make a quick buck.
Yeah, I mean, just going off of that, like, you guys probably noticed this too, but there's a lot of scam calls going on lately, a lot of emails, especially from school saying like, hey, or here's a pretty much stimulus check from the school saying that this is a forgiveness type of
really?
stipend.
I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I've been getting, here's for the residential life, who knows what else, freaking stimulus check, and like, I'm like, whoa, and all this crap. Like,
and then what do they ask?
Pretty much saying, here's a stipend from CMU to you type of thing. Like, hey, this is for dorms. This is reimbursement for dorms. Goes right into your direct deposit account type of deal.
What the fuck?
They want your account info.
I'm like, I'm not even on campus, buddy. They're like,
well, you know what the crazy thing is? Like, how the fuck do they find out that you are going to a certain institution? You know what I mean? Like, the level of work that goes into this, it's crazy, because they know what institution you're settled at, in a way. So it's kind of crazy to think about. What the fuck was it? I lost my train of thought. I was gonna talk something about that. Oh, the phishing scams. Have you heard of what phishing is?
No.
So phishing is just like a scam that is done virtually, essentially. So they send you an email with certain information. They have you type in, phishing you, obviously. They say, hey, we need this information for X, Y, Z reasons. You might be in danger, or we're missing this information. And they make it seem legit. Like, they make it seem like a government.
Like this is like your last warning. And
exactly. Yeah. They make you feel, they use that threatening type of deal.
Urgency, yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people open these emails that are suspicious. They enter their account information or their information in general, and now they have access to your stuff. And you see them in all shapes and form. I mean, you see them very cheaply made, and then you see, like the other day, I had somebody that went onto the website to renew their driver's license, and it looked legit. He went into the website. They had him put all his information. He paid the fee, the $25 or whatever, for whatever it is for a license here in Colorado, and it turned out to be a sham. Like, it turned out to be a complete utter sham. He lost $25 plus they have his information on it.
Right.
Which is the sucky part, So he had to change everything.
Change his whole account. Yeah.
Debit card. We have to keep an eye on his account. Make sure that no suspicious things are going on here and there. And it's just fucking crazy.
Well, I think it's a little more weird how the government's they're pretty much lying low, not low, but they're putting down their barriers a little bit for this kind of situations.
Yeah,
because usually you have to go into DMV, verify that it's you, bring actual paperwork saying that it's you, like physical evidence saying that, hey, this is me.
They have to have more leniency because of the situation that we've been in.
I mean, it's easier more than ever now to catch or to get fished in this sense. Because, I mean, I last week I went through the same process of renewing my license because it's expired. But, I went through the same process, went straight to the CDOT website and went off of that.
Dude, I need to do my stickers.
Your registration.
My registration. I haven't done it. I don't know if they're open. Next time I'll do it online. But I've been writing dirty.
You can renew it online.
I can. It's just I just don't,
Yeah, you're old school, traditional.
Yeah, man. No, it's not that I'm traditional. It's just that I'm just an idiot that is writing dirty for no reason. Have you guys changing topics a little bit? Do you guys know about ASMR, right?
Yeah.
So this week on YouTube, actually, there was a scandalous type of thing because this girl, she's an Asian YouTuber. I can't remember her name. She does ASMR for her show, for her YouTube channel, and she eats live things. So she eats all sorts of things. and in one of them, she's eating a live octopus. She's fucking chowing down on this live octopus, and she got a lot of heat from it. Now, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think she got heat because of the whole situation that we've been with the whole virus? But what do you guys think? Should she be getting that type of shade from people watching, even though maybe that's very cultural of her just eating a squid, eating whatever the fuck? I saw another one that was eating.
I see that
eating a turtle too, like just a fucking dead turtle, just chopping its head off and shit.
And where is she doing this?
Where or
yeah, where?
She's doing it in YouTube.
Just at her house.
Yeah. That's her channel. That's her channel. She basically chows down on octopuses and also octopi. I
see no problem.
Yeah, I was just like, well, if it's ASMR, that's her channel, that's her culture. If it's okay with
I was gonna say, it brings it back to culture over there. Seafood's very rich down there. Everywhere you pretty much go along the coastlines, at least you see a lot of weird foods going on.
Well, weird to us, maybe not weird to them.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, to them it might be a whole just normal thing, just bringing it up a little more than often.
Yeah. But it's crazy, though, to think that someone can eat a live octopus. Like, I didn't even know that was possible, dude.
I mean, I've seen where they chop up, tentacles, and they're still moving around for a couple of minutes or so.
Yeah. I guess it's the same. Yeah,
that's how I consider them. Like, I mean, I've seen them move around, hop around. Even after they're cooked and everything, you can still see them a little twitching in here and there.
I know of I think it's an urban legend. I am not sure if it's a real thing, but there's been occasions where people eat octopus. You know how you could eat the little ones? And I don't know if this is a real thing, but I've heard it somewhere, that if you get I don't know how they reproduce, but if you get an octopus that basically lays its eggs, if you eat it raw, it could lay its eggs on your mouth, and then you could fucking have little octopi fucking growing out of your mouth, because you ate that shit raw. I don't know if it's a myth, like an urban legend kind of thing, but I've heard shit like that could happen. I guess in essence, sushi is the same thing. I mean, you're eating raw fish. If you're actually eating sushi, not just rice and avocado, right?
And you can eat fish eggs too. That's very common.
That's caviar, right? Or
I don't know.
I know.
I'm too poor for caviar.
They say that I've never tasted it, but they've said that it tastes good. Irvin says it tastes good.
I think it's more of it's like a wine. You got to acquire a taste for wine. I think it's the same for caviar.
Because I know that you could eat salmon eggs, right? Or is that just for fishing bait? I fucking can't remember.
I know, it's just they say it's very nutrient. I understand where they get that from, but I've never tried it myself, so I can't say. But
yeah, there's people that in the Mexican culture, chicken legs are very, very popular too, right? Just eating basically everything that comes from a chicken.
Yeah,
I remember I can't fucking eat chicken legs though, dude. I don't know. It's not that they taste bad, it's just the fact that the texture of them, the crunchy weird texture, it's like a rubbery, crunchy texture. I just never. But I could eat menudo just fine. The cow fucking belly, which is cow belly for the surprise. If you've been eating menudo and you don't know what that fucking other thing is, it's cow stomach. What's the weirdest thing you've eaten, Chan? You're from Hawaii, so I'm imagining there's probably some exotic shit that Have you eaten any testicles or something like that?
A lot of oysters.
Yeah, I've had Rocky Mountain oysters once.
They're very chewy, huh?
Interesting. I didn't particularly like it. It was fried.
Yeah, it's normally fried. You know what's funny? There was another famous. He's a Mexican YouTuber. He also has a podcast that I think I remember telling you, Tegan. He was eating Rocky Mountain oysters at a baseball gathering, and he was saying that that supposedly was he didn't know what it was.
Yeah, pretty much. So
he thought they were oysters.
So
oysters?
some other fellow podcaster recommended to him because he's like, oh, I'm going to my first baseball game and who knows what else. He's like, oh, well, you're going to Colorado, right? He's like, yeah, well, I recommend going and ask for these, like just bullshit. He knew what the hell he was setting him up, and this guy had no clue and set him up. And there goes the guy going and get his Rocky Mountain oysters.
Yeah, and I sent him a message on Instagram saying, hey, bro, like what you're eating is actually bull testicles, so those aren't oysters. It was really funny. But yeah, going back to the question, have you ever eaten anything out of the ordinary?
Besides that, I don't know. I've tried eel.
Exotic.
Eel's not bad.
Eel. I've never had eel.
But I've never had turtle. I've never had.
I wouldn't eat turtle, man.
Never had
Turtles are
deer.
too cute for me to eat.
Honestly, I never had alligator.
For turtles, it's just weird for me because you don't see meat off a turtle. You just see the shell and fins.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, if you look at it inside of the shell, you see, whatever. But it's just weird for me to think about it,
When I saw that girl eating a turtle, she was literally fucking eating a turtle with the shell. It looked like a fucking turtle sandwich. Like she was just, she ripped the head off, and it was actually very disturbing to watch. I'm like, yeah, that's not a snack that I would love to chow on and like, because it's just not my thing. I like turtles. It's just not my thing.
I've tried rabbit.
I've never tried rabbit, actually. How does that taste like?
It's pretty good. It's like chicken, but kind of like the dark meat of chicken.
Oh, okay.
A little more tasteful.
You've tasted it too?
Have you had it? Do you?
It's pretty good. Honestly, if prepped well, more than anything could taste good.
I've had geese, and I've had deer.
Okay.
Deer is actually really good. Very rich type of meat. Same with geese.
I don't know. Deer and elk for me, they taste a lot like liver for me, dude. It's
very rich. Yes,
it's very earthy.
Yeah, it's very, very rich.
Something like I do recommend is bear. Try bear sometime.
What the fuck? I've never had bear, bro.
That's like beef, like a good sirloin beef with more oomph.
What the fuck? You've had bear?
It's delicious. I like it.
Well, you guys eat menudo, and a lot of people would consider that
exotic, yeah.
Taboo. I don't know, but
which is what, the cow lining?
It's just pretty much the.
I just said
stomachs.
It, Chan. It's the
stomach.
fucking cow stomach.
Oh,
my bad, I didn't hear you.
Just fucking with you.
Yeah, pretty much. Of the 4 stomachs they have, it's all 4 of them.
Dude, what the fuck? It's crazy that. Did you know that dinosaurs had 4 stomachs? That there was a dinosaur that had 4 stomachs. The Bronchiosaurus. It's the fucking
spiky one.
No, that's the Bronchiosaurus is the tall one.
Oh, okay.
The tall one with the long neck.
From Land of Time. Yep.
Yeah, actually, there's a town here in Fruta where they were very, very popular.
Yeah. It's called Dinosaur, Colorado.
It's yeah. There's one. Yeah, there's literally a town called Dinosaur, Colorado.
Right next to Mac.
The cool thing about him that I learned in my paleontology class, because I had to take a fucking science class or whatever, is that they ate rocks. I don't know if they ate rocks or they built rocks naturally. I think they ate rocks, and basically what those rocks did in their fucking huge stomachs is grind because they're herbivores, so they grind the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're one of the biggest dinosaurs out there. They're very long, and they were like a fucking barrel. You know what's crazy? Have you ever seen that a lot of the times whenever you see like a prehistoric book or like something that teaches you about dinosaurs, they draw like a T-Rex going against a fucking pterodactyl and a Bronchiosaurus in action. Did you know that a lot of those dinosaurs didn't even live in the same timeline? Like they were years away from fucking living in the same timeline.
You're saying like new species evolved.
Yeah, like so the T-Rex might not have been around the same time of like a
Velociraptor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like they're very, but because of artistic and it's catchy to the
right, tells a story.
Reader. Yeah. Oh fuck, like
the mashup of the dinosaurs.
Exactly. It's exotic, right? It's cool, but in reality, a lot of those dinosaurs didn't even weren't even together.
Yeah, I mean, even the Loch Ness, Loch
Ness
Monster. I mean, we briefly got a touch of it back when the big dragons era was going around England and stuff. This was more like about 200 years ago or plus. How do you think?
I don't know for the long. I know it's a very I want to say European, like a European. I know it's like in Scotland that it's very popular over there.
But you see, like, it's like during this dragon age and everything. But I mean, if people were there, that wasn't that long ago, honestly. And for us not to find anything, it's kind of strange to us.
So do you think? You think like in 1,000 years they're gonna have Bigfoot going against the roach and the pterodactyl?
It's all gonna pile
in
on
series.
I don't think. Well, a lot of people. There's a lot of believers out there that think that Bigfoot it's a very. He's just another humanoid type of animal.
Just a branch off of us, but
it's funny that you brought that up because the other day I was watching on YouTube, I was doing a little research. I don't know why, but I was doing a little research about the Bigfoot, and there's a type of Bigfoot that is claimed to be in Vietnam. So during the Vietnam War. There's Vietnam veterans that said that they have their own type of Bigfoot over there. So, and there's like recordings, and then there's literal battles of them going against this humanoid type. But it's different. It's not like necessarily like Bigfoot. They're more like monkey-like, apparently.
This is like your Yetis that you're looking for back in,
Yeah. Our Yetis are from the art, like the Himalayans, right?
Winter, the furry.
Yeah. I know they're like in the Tibet and all that shit, right? I believe, yeah.
Diego Master.
Whoa. Do you? I don't know. I know that they're from the Himalayans. They're winter. They're not historic. Legendary creatures. Let's just call them that, for lack of a better word. But. It's cool and it's interesting how they have like you have the certain type of style of a humanoid in the jungle, right? With the Vietnam type of thing. You have one in the US, in Canada, where it's more foresty. And then you have one that is claimed to be in the Himalayas. How crazy is that? Like they all claim to see this type of humanoid with the same characteristics. And how do they even know about it? It's weird how they claim the same sort of creature just in different areas.
It's just funny thing about this. I saw a couple ads on this on Facebook, more than anything memes saying like now that
Mark Zuckerberg is getting you, bro.
No, pretty much. So now that we're all in quarantine and who knows what else, you've been hearing rumors about the air quality of the world has been clearing up since quite a bit.
Yeah, since the quarantine started.
Yeah, and they're saying that there's all these rumors about Squatch coming out again in the woods. He's letting himself you see him getting his freaking Daily Mail out in his freaking driveway type of deal. Like,
they're making memes out of it.
Yeah, pretty much. He's taking his shit out there in the woods. Again, that's those kind of memes. Like, hey, now that this thing's going down, I mean, they're more open to live. Just with the wildlife and everything else, and that's pretty true. I mean, you see animals a little more wanting to come out,
they're invading they're getting out of the wilderness and invading like regular
territories. They're regular territory, they're not getting pushed back to wherever their reserves were at or wherever the heck they were.
Yeah, well, in the movie I Am Legend, like in this post-apocalyptic world that they draw in the movie, basically if humans were zombies and lived inside buildings, everything else would, like, the plants would start growing everywhere, and wild animals would just start living their life, chilling in the fucking
roaming the plains that used to be plains, but not anymore.
Exactly, they would be living in the city or whatever. If that was to happen in a post-apocalyptic world, they would just overtake the world. I did see, pointing back to the whole clearing of the atmosphere. I heard that there's a ozone hole that's healing up on the planet too. I can't remember where it was. Where was it? I think it's I don't know if it's up north somewhere, but there's an ozone layer that it's healing up apparently due to the lack of contamination, quote unquote lack of contamination, because we still don't know how much is actually
being affected.
Exactly, yeah.
Right, but do you guys really think people are going to change drastically?
I think as soon as all the border lines open up, it's going to go back to shit again. I mean,
no, humans have little to no respect to this planet, and it's just the thing that the world that we live in, you know.
But it does show you how much a little time of our lives could change the world drastically.
Yeah,
just a little impact. We're not even trying that hard. It's just simple.
Yeah,
it's just simple little quarantine. You know, even though people are out in it, but just that little change that we've made could affect so much. So that tells you if we were actually, you know, aware and down to make a change, it's possible.
It's just crazy, man. A lot of people, I've talked to a lot of people, and they're just so there's people that support the oil industry 110%. They're like, it's business, it's money. They're very capitalistic and very driven in that way. I'm not saying I'm not a capitalist. You know, if you consume, you're in my perspective, you're at a certain level, you're a capitalist. If you're consuming, you know, if you're buying goods, if you're buying things, it's just the world that we live in, right? But there's a lot of people that are very for the economy, you know. I see their point of view. Obviously, the economy is very important, having goods and whatnot. Or I guess it's as important as we want it to be, right? Because what it's better, having a cleaner environment, a longer, more plentiful and joyous planet, or just having your pockets full of money. And even then, I mean, not to be very I need to learn what the fuck the word is, conspiracal or whatever.
Conspiritual.
The ones that end up getting the biggest cut are the people on top. Like we've discussed this before.
Yeah, I think kind of going off what you're saying with the economy and making these, we call micro changes, small changes.
Yeah.
I was doing a recycling project for my work the other day, and my coworker was just talking about like all these different items that could be recycled that a lot of people don't know about, like the plastic soda cans you get from to-go places, and even we were talking about the lid, and like it has a number. I guess each plastic has a number. They go like 1 through 14 or something, and certain recycling centers will take certain numbers. And he was saying like it was one he was unsure about, because at the recycling centers they say containers, and he's like, is a lid a container? Like, I really don't know. And I hear a lot from people when I talk to them. They say, oh, you know, I would recycle if it were easier, because there's not too many bins like that people know about. I think in Junction there's a couple centers, 2 or 3 recycling centers, but you go to other countries and literally they're on every street, so it's very hard not to do it. And the perception of the public is you should be doing it, and they almost look down upon you if you don't do it. And sorry, I'm not to interrupt you, I'm ranting, but
no, go ahead.
Go ahead, Grandpa Chan.
But yeah, people here will say, oh, well, I mean, it all goes to the same place anyway. If you just put it in the trash, they have to sort it. And I mean, I get what you're saying, because they have to sort recycling too. But at the same time, it's going to come down to, are you going to be willing to make those small changes? Because glass and aluminum, you can recycle indefinitely and it keeps the quality. Plastic loses quality, but there's certain things on plastic bags you can recycle. Just lots of different micro changes, and really, like, are you willing to make that? And, you know, right now we're seeing with the quarantine, and it's like, oh, we're using less gas, and people are biking more and walking more, and people are, you know, carpooling or not taking so many trips. Yeah. Like, are you going to be willing to continue those changes? Is my question.
It would be.
I hope so.
It would be neat to see people reestablished, but there's so many people out there, and this whole epidemic has brought that side and made it clear, brought it to light, that people are just so ill-minded in a way, so closed up, you know, to new ideas, to new ways of doing things, looking out for their neighbors, you know, not just themselves. You know, I just see it as people have been very closed off. Obviously, we've had a lot of scenarios where we've seen that. But going back to your point about recycling, I don't know if you watched it with me, but I just like to be the devil's advocate, and not in a bad way.
Go for it.
But I was watching this documentary on Netflix, and the sadness of recycling for people that do recycle is that a lot of the plastics can't be recycled. Like they are literally, they end up cluttering up there's just nothing to do with it, little to none. That doesn't mean you should not recycle by any means. I like to give you guys the other side of the coin. Yes, I understand that we are all trying to do the best thing for the planet if you're trying to, but sadly,
I could back that up 100% though, because I mean, me at work, we work at a distribution facility, Coca-Cola, but we also receive a lot of stuff back, broken, damaged, and one of my job task is to sort through stuff that we receive back, hey, claim this, what's good, like, hey, wash this off and just put it back in the package type of deal, and whatever's broken, deem it recyclable or throw pretty much, disposable, just throw it away, deem it. And I know that there's a lot of plastics that go out there that are made to not be disposable.
Yeah.
I mean, I could back that up. And all they do really is we send them back to our headquarters and they're licensed to dispose of it and just literally just make a mountain of it and then ship it off somewhere else that could be pretty much held over there. But
well, I think a lot of, on that same documentary, a lot of those plastics, the U.S. has deals with Asian parts of the country, Asian countries, sorry, and they are in charge of disposing these materials, these raw goods. What ends up happening is that they dispose of these by burning them or making, some of them do a good job, processing them, trying to make them into something else. And the U.S. pays money to get rid of our trash for them.
And that's true. There is energy used to burn.
That's another thing I was getting to. It probably takes more plastic and more energy to make one more bottle than what it takes to actually, recycle.
It would be cool. If scientists, maybe there are scientists out there already focusing on this. I'm not very well informed in that sense, but it would be cool if, okay, you want to make plastic? Okay, let's make a plastic product that is biodegradable, that if you fucking find it in the ground, it'll turn into mulch.
There's a bunch out there. I mean, it's just very expensive to contain and make. Because we have as well, those cups that you get at, your typical McDonald's.
Yeah.
Those are just the crappiest ones you get because the kind of paint and the wax they throw on there, it makes it very hard for the cardboard.
Yeah, because it's cardboard, right? But they have a certain finish, right?
That's where Chan's going, like that number one. That's what number one is. I know that. And that makes it hard to recycle just because of those chemicals and dyes they put in it.
Yeah, and that's like styrofoam is very hard to recycle
too.
Yep.
But we do offer, and we barely sell because it's overly priced, and I agree with that. We do sell biodegradable cups, which they're hefty, they're easily ripped, they're really fragile. They're not just. You can say they're not useful at the point.
But this is the one thing, because I've heard that before. Oh, it's just so expensive to make biodegradable products. But I think that it's expensive because it's just cleaner, It's just a better way to do things. And people just want to cheap out, if they can make, 3 cups out of 89 cents instead of like 1 cup out of 89 cents.
Well, this also goes down to your meals. I mean, people cheap out on their food. They go out, you go and make it easy, getting the crappiest beef, you could get for your hamburger. When you could go, to some natural place and actually get some good lean cuts, fresh cuts of meat, and that's where you get pricey. You pay for what you want.
Yeah, sadly, it's just the way it is. I wish, like, because my mother and my stepdad, they sometimes have cattle that they raise, and what they do is they raise their own cattle, organic food, they do the alfalfa, they do everything raised, and you get organic meat. Like at the end, like they'll kill the cattle, and they get their organic food. And there's a lot of actors out there actually that aren't opposed to eating meat, but they are very opposed to the way they treat these animals that we are eating, right? they're very opposed to the animal cruelty that we see whenever it comes to big factories. And I mean, it's hard not to buy into the whole system because it's just easier to grab a piece of chicken, you know, a couple fucking the thighs or breasts or whatever that is probably really bad for you because of how many hormones. But it's just easy, it's cheaper because of obviously the economic status that you're in, and because it's offered for people that it's just the easier get-go, you know.
Right, and it's what you know. You get used to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've tasted some of that steak that they've given us, some of that ground beef, because they make it into something. They make it into steaks. They make it into ground beef. And it definitely pays off, man. Very good tasting stuff. Very good tasting stuff. You can tell the
difference, yeah.
And my boss, she tries to stay away from meat and chicken. She's a vegetarian. She's not a vegan, but she's a vegetarian. And the other day I had tofu. What's it called? Tofu. It's a Chinese platter, but instead of like it's like breaded tofu. It basically is what it is. Breaded tofu. And it's actually really good, dude. And because of that, she gives me snacks that are either vegan or that are vegetarian.
Just alternatives to your regular diet.
Yeah, and they're actually really good. I think who is it? Is it Burger King has the Impossible Whopper?
Impossible Whopper, and then you got the one from Carl's Jr., which is I forgot it's some other name,
but it's vegetarian, right? It's
pretty much. Yeah, I mean, at first they had. I mean, I don't know if you heard, but I heard that these companies, Burger King, Carl's Jr., whoever's making these, the Miracle Whopper, whatever the heck it is, they're using meat or grease from the previous beef meat and cooking out on that, and that's what ruined the whole idea of making them 100% meat free. So I mean, they kind of got screwed over in that, you know, because they found out that they're using now the grease from the actual meat.
Yeah, they were just recycling the grease,
which gave it flavor and everything. I understand.
Yeah,
that,
I mean, it'll give it the flavor of the beef. A lot of it, because a lot of it, as we know, stays in the fucking oil and the juices, right, that leak out of the meat.
So yeah, they were getting a little in trouble for that, but I mean,
backfire.
A little backfire, but I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, they of course they solved that solution by.
I mean, and we tend to see. This is the thing. A lot of people tend to judge right away. Oh, what? My shit is cross-contaminated, which I understand where they're coming from. Obviously, if you're claiming to be vegetarian, vegan, you don't want something that is cross-contaminated. But let's also give this. That's the problem, you know. Let's also give these other companies a little bit of credit. You know, saying they're trying to give you an option. They're trying to give an option. Some companies don't give a shit about like what they're serving. They just serve you whatever it is.
I mean, whatever they can make the largest profit on. Exactly.
You know, I'm not I don't and also I'm not claiming to be no vegetarian or vegan. You know, I eat meat, but I also like to pay due respect to companies that are trying. You know, they're trying something, especially nowadays. That's very it's popularizing in a way. I heard that if you eat a burger from, and I don't know, like I said, this might be a myth. I've never been to Europe, but they say that like if you eat a hamburger from Italy, it's completely different. It's like a complete different experience, like hamburger from McDonald's even.
I got not a cool story, but it was a little place that Amsterdam's known for in Netherlands. Remember that place, the little joint we went to?
Oh yeah, because you guys went to Netherlands.
Yeah. Our little overseas trip. We heard about this place. It's pretty much like your local, you could say Burger King, but it's just a burger joint where it's like a quick vending machine type of deal. They prep it in the back and they feed it into this dispenser.
Oh, what?
And you put in a coin to that slot, and there's like 20 slots by like 30 slots.
And it just comes out.
You put in your coins for everything. And yeah, you pretty much, it opens a little door, you pick your thing, close the door, and they fill it.
You pick up the burger from like a fucking vending machine type of thing?
It's like, it's like your what's it called, your post office. You know, you got your little, what's it called,
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Boxes, your PO boxes.
Yeah. Like you open the little.
Basically like a PO box, but you put in coins. It's a little animated, you know. You put in coins and it tells you the price up top, and then you put in your coins. You get the thing. Once you get your deposit put in, it opens the hatch. You'll get your meal. Close the hatch.
Wow, that's
people in the back just refill it, you know. And it was pretty cheap. I mean, the taste was different, but it was, you know, fast food over there. We were like, what? This place was popping at, you know, what was it, like 12 at night?
Yeah, that's
2 in the morning.
It was like the In and Out of Amsterdam or something like that.
You could say, but I mean, they didn't just have burgers; they had some other things. But even then, I'm like, it's all right. It did its job. It was pretty cheap.
Yeah, no, it was definitely an experience, and they had things off, like not on the vending machine that you could order from someone.
Yeah, you could go up to the, you know, of course, you could go to the very front and order something specifically if you had specific things if they didn't have up on stock.
That's cool, man. I hadn't heard that story.
It's almost like Little Caesars with the little Pizza Hut and grab things. Like, hey, just pick up your little thing and pick up your hot and ready.
Pick up and pig out, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. But it's just a little more animated. But it's a pretty cool experience, though.
But how about the taste? Was it taste different or?
I mean, overall, yeah, I could say 100% different.
I know that you've told me about the Italian pizza experience, or was it pizza or was it something else?
Yeah, pizza. I mean, over there, I'm pretty sure it's most commonly served around that area, but that's just how this.
What part of Italy was it?
This was
Napoli.
Naples.
Naples.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they got very thin.
Naples.
Very thin crust. Very, very thin.
They do the thin
tomato
crust.
sauce is a little more chunky. You know, more. It's not more. It's more of a, not chunky, but it's more pasty than a liquid.
But delicious.
Like you could see the.
Like you could just scoop up the fucking tomato sauce and eat it like that, or
it's not scoopable. It's just. It's its own texture. I can't really describe it because it was too. I was gone within minutes. So I can. Yeah, I mean that and a big old 40.
Oh shit!
So,
yeah, because you were the legal age over there is definitely younger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good breakfast there.
A little nice.
You had pizza and a drink for breakfast. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was.
That was lunch, but.
Oh, okay.
It was
brunch.
Brunch. Yeah, we were up and going for quite a while, so we had to stop somewhere.
So what kind of shit did you get on your pizza?
I just asked for, I don't know. Well, like I said, we looked at the menu. We're just like, well, what the fuck? Oh, that looks like a calzone. And it's kind of, you could read it along, you know.
But was there meats and stuff like that?
Yeah,
because I know that in Italy, like meats are a big thing.
Yeah,
too.
that's for sure. The fresh ingredients were essential in this meal because I could taste everything from the cheese. Oh my God. To the sauce, to the bread itself. It's just like, dude, what the fuck am I eating over in the U.S.?
Yeah. You're eating U.S. pizza. That's
yeah, like I said, everything must be from local grown farms and everything. You know, that's just the bold, fresh taste of actual vivant vegetables.
Do you know? Sorry to interrupt, Chan. Do you know if over there the quality of food is better? Like it's more. I don't want to say organized, but it's better.
I know they have different regulations.
Policed, you know what I mean?
I think it's less processed. That's for sure. Way less processed because it pretty much from the freaking point it's picked to the point it's marketed is very minimal. I could say.
I can't speak for all of Europe, but I know there's different regulations that we have here.
Like tighter regulations, you mean? In
I would say so.
In based of what we're feeding people, actually, not just trash.
I would say so, but I mean, there's fast food there too. They have Burger King.
Yeah, Chen told me about that one.
They have local fast food places, the Burger Shop. I think it's funny when they name them in English.
Yeah, I know they have like the Burger Shop.
They have like American diners. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's one thing I noticed in London as well. There's a lot of McDonald's, lots of them. Like,
oh yeah, McDonald's. Is
like I looked to the left, that was on the second floor, up and over here, and then I literally across the street, I saw another one on the first floor.
Do they look different?
They're like, different schemes, you know.
Like architecture, like?
No, they have
like I remember
a weird green logo. That's the
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You can get high in this McDonald's too.
Well, no, the problem. I mean, another thing is that they were a little more digitalized. You know, like nowadays, you go to your McDonald's here, you have that display order.
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Those were a thing already over there. This was 2 years ago. Yeah, and those things are already built in. They were going all out. You know?
Hardly see a human, is what you're trying to say.
Until here, until last year, you finally got them installed here in this area in Junction and everything. And I was like, dang, it took them that long.
That's crazy, dude. How advanced, how different it is. Just we say we're like a, first world country, but in reality, like there's a lot of things that we are behind on. Guys, we are the hour, so I think you guys have heard enough of us. I think we touched. I like the topics that we had today. That was cool, man. We went in a little rant. We started at schemes, and then we ended up talking about food and shit. But anyways, Chan, what's your bop for the week in this section we call "What's Your Bop"?
Nice little intro. My bop is a song called "Love to Go."
Love to Go
by Lost Frequencies.
Okay, Love to Go. And you guys can find these songs on our new Spotify playlist, on the Yoking Around Spotify playlist. I am putting them on there. Yeah, check it out. How about you, Deegan?
I couldn't stop listening to this one, but it's Bad by Don Diablo.
Bad by Don Diablo. Hit him with the EDM.
It brings back flashbacks and
flashbacks of good times.
Yeah.
Mine this week was, I fucking can't pronounce this, and my accent doesn't help it at all. Posthumous Forgiveness by Tame Impala.
Oh, nice, Tame Impala.
Yeah, Tame Impala. I've been on a binge on Tame Impala. I don't know. They have I like their sound. I just like the music that they have. How about you, Irving? Do you have any songs for the week? Shakira's Waka Waka, or what were you saying earlier? Do you have any, or should we just...
If he comes up with one, we'll put it onto the playlist for you guys.
Yeah, if he comes up with one, we'll definitely
California Girls, Katy Perry.
Yeah, California Girls, Katy Perry. That's a weird fucking video, actually.
Yeah,
it's California for you.
Shout out to Faith Miller. She did a new cool logo design, before I forget, for the Eggboys.
Nice.
You guys can find that logo on our YouTube now, and also on our Instagram page. Thank you, Faith. She is a cool friend that knows her shit around Illustrator and all that shit that I'm trying to learn. And she made something awesome. Thank you so much for that. Social media.
Go for it, Deegan.
All right. Well, you got me with Ochoa Diego 45, both on Snapchat and Instagram.
Irvin is giving Deegan such a hard time, motherfucker.
Suavemente.
Suavemente. Swab. How about you, Mr. Chan?
Chan's, CHNZ, Jams, JAMZ, Instagram.
You guys... Oh, sorry.
But don't Snapchat me, because I'm 23.
Oh.
Wait, what?
What the fuck?
It's a meme. It's so funny.
Oh, okay.
All right. I thought you were gonna say because I'm taken, but
I'm not aware. I want to add a section that it says "explain that meme." Maybe.
Oh, nice.
Maybe in the later, like, you know how there's memes popping up. Like, I want to find their history and then talk about it.
All right.
Maybe. You can find me at DerekMayo92 on Instagram, DMayo92 on Snapchat. You can befriend me. I like friends. What else? Oh, and please follow us on the Eggboys Instagram page. It's called the Eggboys Inc. And you can find us on there on Instagram. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Please subscribe, add comments, whatever you guys want. This is your podcast. This is not our podcast. We'd like to talk about things that we think you guys might find interesting. And even if it's 64, 47, whatever subscribers we have, we will keep doing this for you guys because we love you guys. With that being said, guys, stay weird, embrace your weird, and see ya next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, jodido, tío. Pinches nalgas las tengo bien entumidas, güey. No chingues. Yeah, this sucks balls, dude.